What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we are going to talk about the Crossfire Roadster, the 05 Roadster. Boy, a lot of you had some pretty harsh comments about this one. And I'm going to admit, when the car first got off the truck, I was pretty upset with it, myself. I was not happy with this purchase. It doesn't look as good as I expected to. The top isn't in as good a shape as I expected it to be. The tires aren't as good as I hoped they would be. The transmission was in limp mode. The battery was bad. The windshield is cracked. The top doesn't work at all. It just beeps. The top has a crack. The window's falling. The oxygen sensors were bad. I mean, it didn't want to run. The key is stuck in the ignition. Boy, we could go on and on about how much of a POS Chryslers are, what junk Chrysler makes. They're absolute garbage. And then we could talk about how Scotty Kilmer hates everything. Every car is junk. Ford's junk, Chrysler's junk, Chevrolet's junk. Toyota is the only good car left in America. Or we could be honest with ourselves and with each other and say, it's not necessarily the cars that are junk, the cars that are garbage. It's the fact that people don't maintain them. People don't take pride in ownership anymore. People buy a car, they drive them into the ground, and then with 93,000 miles on it, somebody buys it, and it's a piece of junk, and they blame the manufacturer, when in reality, it's not the manufacturer's fault. It's not. Now, there's truth. All car makers make junk. There are cars made by every car manufacturer that you could consider garbage, absolute junk. For example, Chrysler Dodge, the 2.7. I don't think there's anybody here that would argue that the 2.7 was an absolutely crap motor. Junk, garbage. A lot of the earlier transmissions in Chryslers were junk and garbage. A lot of stuff produced by Fiat Chrysler, junk, garbage. But that doesn't mean that every car that the manufacturer makes is no good. Now with this car, it needs some love. And I get a lot of you commenting saying, Randy, you're an idiot. You're stupid for buying these cars, Randy. They're garbage. Why would you buy cars sight unseen? Well, I can't really justify it to you, and I don't think you would understand, but obviously, thanks to you all watching these videos, it makes it possible for me to afford to gamble. And this is like my gambling habit. This is my addiction, if you will. Instead of doing drugs or being an alcoholic or, popping pills, I buy cars. This is what I love. When I see a car like this, I don't look at it as, what a piece of crap, what a total loss. I wasted my money. I look at it as a challenge. And this car in particular, now that car is pretty well sorted. We're almost done with that one, and it's going to be sent to the dealership very soon. This one is a challenge. That one was not. That was relatively easy. This one, we got a lot of different things to work on. So here's what I've done. I've already started working on it. And let me tell you where we're at. We're already well on our way to having this car sorted, guys. And it's not as bad as many of you thought it was going to be. And it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I am not an expert mechanic. I'm not ASE certified. I'm a shade tree at best, and damn proud of it. All right, I am from the trailer park, and I will not apologize for that. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you what we got going on here, and it may look intimidating. And in fact, it is intimidating a little bit when you first get into it. So we knew that the convertible top didn't work, right? Well, I looked online and I couldn't find any good information about where the pump or motor was. I figured it was the pump or motor. First thing I did is I checked all the fuses under the hood and in the dashboard. We found a 40 amp fuse or 30 amp fuse popped that goes to the motor. So I said, we'll replace it and see what happens. I put another one in, and as soon as I pushed the button for the motor, it popped. And I said, well, there you go. It's either going to be, most likely, water got back here and flooded it, and the motor for the pump is blown. No big deal. These pumps are only $300 used. No biggie. Well, I came back here and I realized there is a tank. I don't know how well you can see it, but in the middle of your screen is this white tank right there where my finger is. Well, that tank is what holds the fluid for the pump. Speaking of fluid, I've got fluid all over my convertible top computer. That was stupid, Randy. Okay, So as you can see, I've got all the lines, and there's a lot of lines here pulled out, guys. This is like a valve body block, all right? And each one of these lines, each one of these bad boys goes to something. You've got lift cylinders here, you've got top latch releases back there, you've got another lock right here, you've got more over here on this side. Okay, there's a lot of hoses, but here's what I found. Where is it? Where are you at? I've got one hose in particular, and I can't find it. Anyway, there is a hose back here that's broken, although I can't find it right now. It's number 32 or 34. Huh. I mean, it was right here the other day. Now I don't see it. Anyway, I filled the tank with fluid, and you know what happened? The top started working. Now, it took a while. You had to cycle it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because it has to build up hydraulic pressure. And we actually got the top on its own. We got the bow to move up to about here, which is where it's supposed to go. And we got the tonneau cover to start coming up. And then it just failed. It wouldn't go any further. And then we noticed there was a lot of hydraulic fluid leaking out of here. Well, it became pretty apparent pretty quickly that there was definitely a leak somewhere around the pump, and as it turned out, it was just one of these lines. And it was line number like 32 or 34, and it goes right here. This is it. Very simple. It's line 32. This is the specific line. It plugs in right here to the bottom of this lock. This lock controls the locking and unlocking of this tonneau cover. So I got on eBay, and I could find line 32, but line 32 was $169. Well, screw that. I found a guy selling a whole used set, the whole block assembly, every line for the whole hydraulic system for $150. I made him an offer of $100, and he took it. So for $100, that includes shipping. We've got every line to the car. So I'm going to replace the individual line in that block that's bad. We're going to bolt it all back together, and we'll see if we have any more leaks. If we do, well, no big deal. I've got every hydraulic line for the entire convertible top of this car. So there you go. We should have our hydraulic system fixed. The pump does work. When it had fluid in it, it did start working. So it's just a matter of a broken line. We're going to take care of that. And once I get that done, I am confident the top is going to go up and down on its own. That was no big deal. Next, you know, we've got to talk about the convertible top. The fact that the window is not sealed right here at the top, it's covered with tape, as you can see. We're going to have to get that fixed. I'm sure any reputable convertible person or vinyl repair specialist can fix this seam right here that's split. I'm sure that can be glued back together. And I'm sure they can reseal the top. So I don't think that's a big deal either. You know, what is it going to cost me? Maybe $200, $250. The lines cost me $100. I got a set of brand new tires, all four, for the car, because the tires on this truthfully suck, and I'm not going to sell it to somebody with bad tires. The last thing you want to do when you buy a new or used car, I should say, is have to put tires on, and you shouldn't have to. So I already ordered a brand new set of tires for this. They're the proper tires for the car, the right size, right speed rating, load limits, everything. And those were $300. $309 actually, brand new, shipped to my house. We're going to need a windshield. That's another big deal. I'm not going to sell a car with a broken windshield to anybody. That's probably going to run about $150 to $200 for a new windshield. The next problem that we're facing with this car, by the way, the transmission, the battery has been saved. So that saved us about $100. We were able to recondition the battery. I have a battery reconditioner. Let's there you go. You'll notice with the car running, the e-brake is on, by the way. I'll turn it off, but you'll notice there's no lights on. There's no warning lights for check engine that we're on. Because of the battery not being able to basically supply the car with proper current or voltage it caused all kinds of problems with the car. So the check engine light that was on for an oxygen sensor, that's gone. The only light we've got on is an airbag light. Unfortunately, my scanner will not interact with the body control module, even under the Mercedes program. It will not interact with the body control module, the airbag module. It will only work with the transmission control module and the engine computer, nothing else. Washer fluid light, we can probably fill it up with washer fluid, that'll be fine. This may just need a sensor, we'll see about replacing that. So the airbag light we probably won't be able to repair because I just don't have the technology to repair it. Now with this key being stuck in the ignition, I have tried spraying fluid in it. I have taken this apart so I could get in here and see if I could find the interlock cable, which I don't see it. Apparently it is underneath this, but as you can see, this has been replaced. So somebody has been in here doing something, but I don't believe it's an interlock issue because I don't have any issues shifting from park, reverse, neutral, or drive at all. Now, I've been on a lot of forums. I've had a lot of you trying to help me, and you can slam it into park and hope that the key comes out, but the key does not come out. Another thing to notice is the key is all the way in the off position. When the interlock cable sticks, usually it will get stuck like here, and you'll have to turn it. You can't get it to turn all the way. This is exactly where the key comes out in the Crossfire up there. I mean, this is identical. So the issue, I don't believe, is the interlock cable. I believe it's a pin and a spring inside this mechanism. What that means is we're going to have to take this bottom panel off. We're going to have to drop all of this down. We're going to have to take this whole thing apart, pull the entire ignition assembly out from under here. We're going to have to punch it and pull out the spring and the pin that locks the key into place, and then I think we'll be fine, assuming we don't have any issues getting through all of that. The radio works, air conditioning works, heat works, the spoiler works, the heated seats are working. The convertible top was halfway working yesterday. Both windows work. So I guess the short version of the story is, yeah, the car needs some work, but I expect as much. Now, I was kind of hopeful the car didn't need as much work as it does, but for me, I would not recommend that you guys go out and just bid on cars sight unseen and hope that you're going to make a lot of money on it, because that's not a good way to do business. But for me, because you guys watch the content and you seem to enjoy these random cars that you just don't know what it's going to be until it shows up at your door, this is fun for me. Now, some challenges are bigger than I'm willing to take on, and some of you get upset about that. Some of you don't like that, and you get mad at me when I don't put an engine in or a transmission in, but I'm kind of limited on, number one, what I'm able to do where I'm at right now, and also I'm just limited on time and what I'm actually capable of doing with these cars. So if a car turns out to be too much for me, occasionally we just gotta let it go. But something like this, I love this car, man. I do. I love my Crossfires. You can love them or you can hate them. I respect that either way. We definitely got to do something with these pillars. I don't know what specifically, but we got to do something with these because those really do look horrible. I am not upset with the condition of this car. It's less than what I hoped it was, but it's nothing that we can't fix. Same thing with this car. I am not disappointed in this car one bit. This car truthfully turned out phenomenal, and we're almost done with it. Once that the amplifier came in for the radio, we're going to put that in, and once we get that amplifier in, the stereo should work. Then all that's left is putting that door panel on the other side, cleaning it up, possibly doing something, maybe Weird Beard. You know, I'll talk to him. Maybe we can get Weird Beard to sand and put some paint on this or something. We'll see if he's got the time and if he's willing to do something like that, just to make it look a little better. I love these cars, and not just Crossfires. I do love Crossfires, whether you love them or not. I love Crossfires. I just love buying these cars sight unseen. It's no different than if you go to the gas station and pick up lottery tickets every Friday or every Thursday. It's the same thing for me. It's completely random. You don't know what you're going to get. And when I get the car to the house and I first put that key in the ignition, or it's stuck in the ignition, it's the equivalent of you taking a penny or a quarter and scratching off those numbers on the back and seeing if you won something. You know, that's how it is for me. It is kind of an addiction. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's it's an addiction that is not counterproductive. This is a productive addiction. I can actually get things done that benefit other people. You know what I mean? I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not out here doing horrible things or robbing stores to feed my addiction. I just do something I enjoy. You guys watch it, and it makes it possible for, even if I get a loser, even if this lottery ticket is a dud, I still win. And that's thanks to all of you, because you follow this channel and you enjoy watching my content. Now, I know we didn't get a lot done today. In fact, we didn't get anything done in this video, and that's because I'm waiting on parts. That's the name of the game. It's hard to find Chrysler Crossfire parts, at least around here. I wasn't able to find much of anything locally. Could find plenty of them on eBay. Unfortunately, they're kind of overpriced. These cars, they are not worth what people try to sell them for generally, in my opinion. You know, I believe they should be priced fairly. That one right there should be about a $4,000 car. This one right here, we'll see how it turns out. But I mean, if we get this car well sorted and it comes out looking really good and the top is in solid condition, this car might push $5,000 with new tires. I mean, completely sorted though. You know, completely sorted. Okay, not completely. We probably can't fix the airbag light. That's probably the one thing I'm not going to be able to resolve. But I think, to the right person, this car could bring between $4,500 and $5,000. That one should easily bring $3,500, maybe $4,000. It's not a bad deal, man. At least not to me. I smell that burning smell that I've smelled before from the Corvette, but the Corvette's not running. That's kind of bizarre. Yeah, it smells like something is burning under there. Wouldn't it be totally epic if the C7 literally caught on fire on video in my driveway and burned all my cars in my house down? I'm totally kidding. That wouldn't be epic. That would really suck. Well, anyway, guys, I got to get out of here because I am going to try to get a few things done today, but I want to make some videos for you to watch since we are waiting on parts for everything and waiting for updates for this, and there's nothing else I can do but make videos. So I hope you enjoyed the content. Tell me what you think of the Crossfire. And I know a lot of you don't like the car. Some of you just think it's ugly. You hate Chrysler, but I'm telling you, Chrysler does make some good products. So does Chevy, so does Ford, so does Honda and Toyota. So with Scotty Kilmer, I respect Scotty. I do. I've watched him for many, many years. I've watched Scotty, but I just disagree with him when he says basically every car is junk. Everything. Doesn't matter. All cars are junk unless it's a Toyota. I think he may... No, I don't think he likes Honda anymore either. I think he's even been dissing on Honda lately as well. If it's not a Toyota, it's not a good car. And I just disagree with him. I agree a lot of cars are lacking in the quality department or inspection department, quality control. I definitely agree with that, but not all of them are junk. So that is going to be it, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. And if you notice, I'm wearing an autoauctions.io shirt today. And no, it's not sponsored. He just sent me an autoauctions.io shirt, and I was like, dude, that's awesome because it's getting chilly, and I can always use sweatshirts. Hint, hint. Anybody out there want to send some free sweatshirts? Email me autoauctionrebuilds@gmail.com. I almost said autoauctions.io. Obviously, autoauctions.io is the website that I use. Again, this is not sponsored, but I figured since I'm wearing the shirt, I might as well tell you. Autoauctions.io is what I use whenever I'm buying an auction car. Okay, if a car has been salvaged and sold, or even if it's not, clean title cars go through the auction too, and those cars also get sold through Copart and IAA. Believe it or not, they do. So I always look them up on autoauctions.io. It's like a Carfax, but it's for these auctions. You know what I mean? So the Carfax is great, gives you a lot of information, but it's not going to show you if it's run through the salvage auction before. And that can mean something. A lot of cars have been wrecked, completely smashed, and they never have a salvage title. You can run a Carfax, it's going to come back clean and clear, just clean as a whistle. If it's run through Copart or IAA, you're going to see, including the pictures of what it used to look like. So you can see what it was before. It gives you an advantage and really helps you decide whether it's something you should spend the money on or not. Not to mention the pictures on autoauctions.io. They're really phenomenal, high quality pictures. I really enjoy using their site, and I do appreciate autoauctions.io sending me the swag. Truly do appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here, guys. If you enjoyed the content, give the video a big thumbs up. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Auto Auction Rebuilds. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share the video with your friends on social media if you enjoy the content. Hairball. Stay safe out there, everybody. I'll catch you all very soon in the next one.